Sweet Porridge. Once upon a time, in a little town, there lived two sisters. Their names were Jane and Ella. Jane was the eldest, and she was very smart, but she was also very arrogant about her intelligence. She thought herself to be the smartest of all, and turned up her nose at every person in the town. The younger one, Ella, was a very kind girl and was sweet to all. But although lovable, she was extremely forgetful. Both sisters never bothered to mend their ways, and because of this, they would always have differences. Now, Jane and Ella were very poor. They would go hungry almost every night and were lucky if they had even a little bread and cheese to eat. One day, Ella was sitting at the table looking out at the sky, when suddenly her tummy started growling very loudly.
Oh, I feel so hungry. I haven't eaten properly for days, and even now there is nothing to eat. Maybe if I go out for a walk, I'll forget about how hungry I am.
So out into the woods she went to take a stroll, carrying nothing but a single flask of water. She kept walking on, and soon had to stop and rest, for she was very tired.
I am so tired and so thirsty. I should drink some water.
But as she was about to drink, an old woman appeared in front of her. She was dressed in a dark robe and looked so appalling that Ella was about to run away.
My child, will you please give me some water? I am very thirsty and have not had a drink for 2 whole days.
The old woman coughed so badly that even though she looked very appalling, Ella felt sorry for her, and her tender heart gave way.
Of course. Here, drink as much as you like. I do hope it will be enough for you. Oh, how kind you are. Thank you so much, my dear. Let me repay you for your kindness.
And in a burst of light, the old woman had turned herself into a beautiful young witch. Ella was most amazed at what she saw.
Wow! Now, tell me what you wish for, and I shall give it to you, no matter what it is.
So Ella told her everything about how poor they were and how they had to remain hungry for days.
I see. Very well. When you return home, you will find a pot lying on your table. It is a magic pot. Magic? Yes, a magic pot. To it, you must sing, "Cook, little pot, cook," and it will cook as much sweet porridge for you as you like. This way you and your sister will never go hungry. And when you are done eating and are satisfied, say, "Stop, little pot, stop," and it will cease to cook. How wonderful! I will return home immediately. Wait! Before you go, I must tell you one last thing. To keep this magic pot forever, you must earn it. If you do nothing to deserve it, then it will vanish from your lives, and you will both go hungry again. Remember these words, or you will fall into a lot of trouble. I will. Oh, thank you, kind witch. I will go home right away. Eat well, my dear Ella. Wait, how do you know my name?
But the witch had disappeared and was nowhere to be seen. Ella soon returned home and found the pot on the table just as the witch had said. Jane was standing near, staring at it crossly.
Ella, did you bring this pot home? I did. Am I not amazing? Amazing? What's amazing is when you find a way to put food into the pot to cook. Jane, you will be very happy to know that this pot is magical and will feed us forever. My poor sister. Since we have no food, I am aware of our shrinking bellies. But it seems your brain has begun to shrink even more. Ha! I will prove it to you.
Ella looked at the pot and said,
Cook, little pot, cook.
As soon as Ella ended her spell, the pot started bubbling and brewing, the hot porridge on its own. Jane was extremely amazed, and Ella looked on with glee. In an instant, the porridge was done, and the aroma filled the room and made both the girls hungrier than ever. They both tasted it, and it was indeed the best porridge they'd ever eaten. In this way, they ate to their heart's content every day and were never hungry again. They were never tired of it since it was very tasty. But one day, Ella decided to go out.
I must remember to tell Jane the ending spell to the cooking pot before I go. Oh, what are the words?
What is it? Why are you staring at me like that?
Well, there was something important I had to tell you.
Something important? What important thing could you tell me?
You are very mean. Fine, I won't tell you anything.
I bet you forgot what you were going to tell me.
I didn't forget. I'm leaving.
But as she left, she remembered the spell.
Oh, I remember now. Well, it doesn't matter since she already ate in the morning. I'm sure she won't feel hungry.
But after a while, Jane started to feel hungry.
I feel like eating that delicious porridge. Ella isn't here, so I have it all to myself.
She went to the pot and, clapping her hands in glee, chanted the spell happily.
Cook, little pot, cook.
And the next second, it was cooking up the hot porridge that Jane loved so much. She smelt it greedily, and once it was cooked, she ate it all up.
That was so delicious. I'm full now. Oh, I'd better make the pot stop cooking. What was the spell for that? Stop cooking, pot.
But those were not the right words. Ella had never told Jane the spell to stop the pot from cooking.
Oh no, what do I do? Enough, no more porridge. Stop, you silly porridge pot.
No matter what she screamed out, the pot went on bubbling up more and more sweet hot porridge. Poor Jane kept yelling at the pot, but nothing helped. After a while, Ella returned home.
I'm sure nothing bad must have happened. After all, what harm could come out of forgetting just a small, silly spell? What is that coming out from under the floor? And I smell porridge, too.
Ella went to look through the window, and what a sight she saw! The whole house was filled with sticky, sweet porridge. The vases and chairs were swimming in it.
Oh, what a disaster! And where's Jane?
That's when she saw poor Jane sitting on top of a table that was slowly and steadily sinking into the steaming porridge.
What do I do? Why won't Ella come home?
Jane, I'm here! What happened?
Ella! Oh, my sweet sister! Please chant the magic spell and stop the horrible pot from making more porridge!
Stop, little pot, stop!
And at last, the magic pot stopped bubbling. The porridge stopped pouring out of it, and Jane and Ella sighed in relief.
Thank goodness that is done. But the house is still in such a mess. I'm sorry for forgetting to tell you the spell today. This is all my fault.
No, I am to be blamed too. I should have asked and listened to what you had to say today. I was too arrogant and mean to you.
But what do we do, Jane? Our house is filled with porridge, and cleaning it would take days.
Jane thought for a while and then said,
There are so many poor people in this town. Why don't we share some of the porridge with them too?
Oh, yes! I bet there are a lot of people simply starving. They would love the hot steaming porridge.
And away went Ella to fetch all the poor and starving people from their homes and off the streets.
Everyone, we have some delicious porridge to give you all. I am sure you will all just love it. Get your bowls and spoons and come to eat.
And up came all the people with bright, sparkling eyes. Jane filled the bowls while inside, and Ella served them out to all the people. They ate up the porridge with gusto. "Thank you, Ella and Jane.
I hadn't eaten for 5 days.
We are very thankful to you both.
Soon, the house was empty. There was no porridge anywhere. Jane had climbed out the window and now standing at the side of Ella. Seeing all the people's happy faces and bright smiles, Ella and Jane felt very happy.
Ella, it feels very nice to care about others more.
I know, right? We already had so much of the porridge to eat for so many days, but we never shared it at all.
Let's share the porridge with the poor and needy. Let's feed them every day so they never go hungry again.
So every day, Jane and Ella would go out to the streets and to the poor people's homes and feed them with fresh, hot, tasty porridge. This went on for a long time, until one such day an old beggar came to them. He was draped in torn clothes, and Ella and Jane looked at him as he came up to them.
My dear children, would you be so kind as to offer me the pot that makes this porridge? I have come from far off, and my little grandchildren are sick. I have nothing to feed them. May I take it home with me?
What do we do, Jane? If he takes the pot, then we will be hungry again.
It's fine. We have had our fill, and it would be worse for the children if they didn't eat at all.
So Jane turned to the old beggar and smiled.
Sir, you may take the pot to your grandchildren and feed them well. I hope they feel better after eating it.
And immediately the old beggar turned into the witch.
Oh, the porridge witch! I am very impressed with you two. You have learned to care and think about others before yourselves. You have also helped the poor and hungry people of this town.
Does that mean...
Yes, it means that you can keep the porridge pot. You two deserve it. Yay! Sweet, sweet porridge every day.
And even after that, Ella and Jane continued to feed the poor and hungry every day. They enjoyed seeing the happy smiles on people's faces, and this, in turn, made them very happy.